Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Xbox Life, episode 307. The end is near! Run for your lives! I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, and with me, as always, are my good buddies, Rob and Brun.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, also known as Presar.
And Broden BJ Swick 33.
Alright, so welcome to the show. Welcome to the fun. And,
Yes.
so I'm assuming Brun and Rob, we can be heard on the stream.
Yep.
I got a thumbs up. Good, good, good. All right.
Yep.
So be sure to check out our website, thisxboxlife.com. And of course, as always, because you guys love us so much, you guys are doing a great job of supporting us by shopping at Amazon using our affiliate link. You can go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. If you're in the U.S., it'll take you straight there. If you're out of the U.S., you can go to our website and click on the Amazon link there, and it will auto direct you to the affiliate store that is closest to you. So if you're in the UK, Spain, Germany, Italy, or France, it should take you to one of those places. Alrighty, and thank you for doing that. So, all right, guys, before we get into it, we got to do a couple little bit of housekeeping, if you will. And we've been talking about because everybody's been supporting us so well, we want to do another giveaway. And we talked about it a little bit and decided that what we're going to do this time around is we want to get you guys more involved. So we are going to ask that you go out to our website and click the voicemail box button there. You just have to have a microphone hooked up. Everybody's got a microphone nowadays, they're all built in, so you got really no excuse. Um, Go out to our website, click the voicemail, leave us a voicemail, leave us your gamer tag, okay, and ask us a question that we will answer on the next show. What we want to do is if we get enough questions from the community, we'll turn next week into the roundtable just into answering your guys' questions. All right. So they don't ask personal questions. We're not going to talk personal stuff. Okay, we got to protect our personal stuff. But you can ask us gaming related questions. You can ask us stuff that's not you know too personal, but just hit us up with your questions, or and we're gonna try to turn it into a community show. But and we're going to randomly pick one of those questions to receive a $60 gift card. If you want digital, we'll give you an Xbox gift card. If you want to purchase physical, we'll give you an Amazon gift card for $60. Again, this is all U.S. dollars. Last time we had a winner was in Canada. They had to change their home base to or home location address to somewhere in the states to get the credit. So there's some ways around it if you're outside of the U.S. But that would be on your. We're going to open a contest to everybody. If you win and you have problems using the code, that's not our fault, okay? But if you guys out of states are working and using those other stores, hopefully soon we'll be able to start giving you guys some giveaways that will be specific to Europe and stuff. So that's our goal. But for now, send us those voicemails this week, all right? And we'll randomly pick a winner next week. All right. So with that said, before we go into the games, I got something we need to talk about, guys. I want to talk about something. I'm throwing it in there. It's off script. It's we're keeping it live.
Oh
We're keeping it
no!
crazy. Did you guys hear about PSN going down today and being attacked?
No, I
Yes.
missed that. Wow.
Well, I guess this morning there was a denial of service attack launched at PlayStation Network, and I don't know if it's still in effect at this point in the evening, but I do know it was going pretty much throughout the day. I guess there was some stuff put up on the Sony website with terrorist groups and pictures and stuff. It's just I don't even want to mention
Hmm.
the name because I don't want to give them credit. But I don't know why that terrorist group's images are posted because it has, I guess the group doing the stuff has nothing to do with them, but I don't know. It just makes no sense. But looks like Sony's under attack again. Also, I guess there was some tweeting going on today to American Airlines, and Sony Online Entertainment President John Smeedley was on a flight that got rerouted because there was threats of a bomb on that plane that he happened to be on. So
Oh wow.
I'm like, dude, what is going on in the gaming world? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Um, and then now tonight, Xbox Live is experiencing issues, and the group that is doing the denial of service on PSN, they're implying that the Xbox attacks are theirs as well. But the Xbox attacks don't seem to be as big.
Are you
Um,
sure? Are you sure they're implying that, or are they complaining that they can't log in
no, it says they're
to
taking
do their
credit.
gaming?
They're taking
Oh,
credit for it.
okay.
Right now, the Xbox Live status as of 8:09 p.m. Pacific time. This says social and gaming is limited. That's affecting the Xbox One and the 360. The affected services are joining other Xbox Live members in online, in online games. And then there was a statement at 12:02 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it was at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Wait, this was on the 22nd though. That was 2 days ago. So I don't know if
Yeah.
this. I think that part. I think that's just not been updated because I've had no problems. This is saying connecting with Diablo 3 players,
Hmm.
and I've been playing with people this weekend. So that's an old message, that Diablo 3. So supposedly Xbox is having some issues as well. Um, I'm not sure. I haven't actually played. I've been online watching Amazon streaming all day and just resting. Haven't felt good. So um, I don't know. Have you guys had any issues?
I haven't been on to be able to tell, but I mean, IGN is reporting has a report on the Sony issue. They do not have a report on the Xbox
Yeah.
issue. And if there was an Xbox issue, don't worry, IGN definitely would
Yeah.
put it up because
They'd be all over it.
they'd be doing anything to cover up the Sony one. So
Well, I'm sure the IGN story is, talking. I'm sure it's all chalking it up to somehow this is a good thing.
that's just they just put in there what Sony says, like other major networks around the world, the Sony PlayStation Network and Sony Entertainment Network have been impacted by attempt to overwhelm our network with artificially high traffic. So, which is a true statement, but for a company who was hacked and broken for an entire month, it's just like, really,
Yeah.
again. So it's unfortunate for all the 10 million gamers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
I've been on live within the last hour, no issues, so
so,
should be cleared up.
but
Yeah.
hopefully it's not coming our way, and hopefully Sony can get their stuff up and running again. We're this Xbox Live, but we don't. We might get on our Sony friends every once in a while, but I mean, in all honesty, it's more of a friendly rivalry, if you will. I mean, I certainly don't have any. I want those friends of mine that have PlayStation to be able to play. I mean, it's just a game, guys. Come on. So it's just getting a little crazy. So hopefully everybody will be up and running here shortly, and hopefully both Microsoft and Sony can bolster their efforts to help secure the networks to, but keep that from happening. But a DDoS is that's a tough thing to combat there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only do so much. Um, but all right,
Yes. Joystick has something that says PlayStation owners, you're not alone in your fight against the demons of disconnection. Xbox Live is currently experiencing connectivity issues as well. The good news, at least some of the services functions are still working. A statement on the Xbox Live status page reads, "Hi Xbox members, you're having trouble connect party chat on Diablo 3, blah blah blah." So, yeah, and you're right. So the same group is claiming DDoSing the PlayStation Network and rerouting the flight.
yeah.
So,
So
Did it mention anything about Nintendo, or they couldn't find any owners to actually confirm if it was?
there really isn't any
well,
online service.
yeah, you got to have an
Nintendo,
online
so
service first before you can be affected by it.
Mario Kart
They,
8 is not working properly.
they have their store.
Yeah.
So, well, they only got what 2 users online, so
Yeah,
no one wants to go after that.
neither
You want
could
it. You need to
reach
make a.
Japan.
You got to make the news. You want to make headlines. Taking 2 people offline on the Nintendo network is not going to make the news.
Yeah,
Affecting several million people on Xbox and on Xbox Live and PSN will get on the news. So, yeah, Dark Predator hasn't been able to get on PSN all day. That's just Gunny Chief's been on Xbox Live all day with no issues with other friends. Al Ships has said he's been okay, but a little patchy, but nothing major. So, anyways. Oh, and Predator said I had to watch a PS4 where the greatest get hacked ad before I got into the Twitch stream to watch this Xbox Live.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess Sony needs to pay us, man. Right?
Yeah.
That's wrong. We should be able to say we want only Xbox ads. So I wish we could control that. All right, so I guess we're back in the news with that stuff. So hopefully it will get it'll pass soon, and all gamers will be able to play as we want to. So, all right. All right. So I think that's about it. We can just take it into what we've been playing. So, Rob, you said you were on Xbox. So I'm hoping you were playing something.
You bet. You bet. So I've been playing my usual Disney Infinity with my son, and the other day also, I was going through a pile of stuff on my desk, and I found Forza Horizon.
Oh
I've
yeah.
had this thing for I don't know how long. It was still in shrink, so I'm like, I'm finally gonna play this thing. So I got this thing over a year ago easily. So I broke it out and I played it, and I love it, and I can't believe I didn't play it sooner. And I know everybody was just raving about it, and uh, I just didn't have time at that time to play it, but I wish I did. It's just fantastic. I've just been tearing it up, racing all the circuits, and I think it's really cool how you play the rivals. And I got to say, Wing, I beat you in a couple races.
Oh whatever.
You, you were pretty
Oh,
easy.
whatever.
The
Whatever.
toughest competitor I had was Tanner. Uh, Boy, it took me a long time to beat him on this one race early
I
on.
could probably turn it on, boot it up, and beat you before we're done recording. I try
Whatever,
it one time, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah, we were probably going like the one I went down a road once in a like a little slow car doing some other thing, and you're like, "Oh, look, he was only 20 miles an hour through the speed trap. I can beat that."
Yeah,
Yeah,
the last race was actually right before the show, and you were doing a Lamborghini, and I was racing you with a Corvette convertible. And I
yeah,
smoked you,
whatever.
beat you by about 4 seconds.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll step up to the plate here with Forza Horizon 2. We'll see where you are. We'll get
You're on,
all
buddy. You're
right.
on.
Okay, then I expect you to be online and playing. We'll get in a race actually at the same time. So we'll even broadcast it and record it for
Woohoo!
posterity. So no, that's cool, man. It's a fun game, isn't it?
Oh yeah, one of the main reasons why I just busted it open. Well, first of all, it's a fantastic game. Second of all, is that the second one's coming out. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get some playing of this thing in before the second one comes out. And now I'm really looking forward to the second one. Definitely gonna preload, pre-order, and do all that. Now, uh, I'm sure you've gone through all the DLC. Is the DLC worth it?
I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because I'm
think
not
it's
really
fun.
interested in the cars. I was looking through the cars. I'm like, I really don't care
No, the
about
rally
the big
stuff
cars.
was fun. They got
Okay.
rally races and stuff, and I don't. Yeah, the cars. There's so many cars in the game
Yeah.
that even with Forza, I don't buy the car packs.
Right.
Usually, I usually drive one or two cars. It's until I'm forced to drive something else. So,
Exactly.
but
So that's exactly what I was doing, and I got that hundred, no, thousand. I forget. It was like 1,000 races
okay.
pack because that was a
Oh,
free pack.
yeah, it was
And
like 1,000 challenges or something like that. There's a whole
yeah,
bunch of challenges. Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing those.
I bet. I would think so. And then I saw that the season pass is $20, and then that rally pack is $20. So if you're going to be getting the rally thing, it only makes sense to get the season pass.
Yeah. So it was fun, but again, it depends on it. Are you going to be able to play all that because Forza 2 is coming out in what 30
A month or
days?
so, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're not going to be able to One thing you don't want to do is spend the next 30 days playing Forza Horizon and then jump right into. I think you'd be burned out
or really good.
or really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you know,
And then you change controllers and it totally throws you off.
step on the gas,
Yeah.
crash into a
And,
wall.
and we haven't talked about headsets in quite a while because I made mention for a number of shows how I had the old Turtle Beach XP 500s, the wireless ones, which I give a big old thumbs down to. These things are horrible. And I purchased a set of Polk. Um, I forgot what they're called. It's the Polk kit that they had for the 360 that they gave you the free upgrade to the Xbox One, where the free upgrade was basically just a headset adapter for free that they sent you, which was a fantastic deal. So I'm actually able to use those headsets on both my 360 and my Xbox One. Main differences with the Xbox One, you're tethered to your controller, just a little wire out of the right headset that goes right into the headset adapter. On the Xbox 360, it's a little different because it is wired. It's a little USB connector that goes into a little barrel, and then you have a wire that's supposed to bump into the bottom of the controller for the chat capability, and then it goes up to your headset. So basically, depending on the system that I use, I just pull one wire out, push the other one in, and this is the first time I've really continuously used it on the 360. I use it all the time on Xbox One, but I can tell you, huge difference. I mean, these things are a lot cheaper than those Turtle Beaches, but they sound so much better. The bass on them is fantastic. Just the cars sound great in the show. So I
Is
guess
that
it's a little follow up. What?
is that the four shot?
No, it was something else. Because I think the four shot isn't. I think that's Xbox One version. It might be. I'll look it up and I'll mention it in a couple of
I see
seconds
the
here.
melees.
Yeah, Melee. That's it.
That's a 360. The Melee Xbox
Yes.
360 gaming headset.
Yeah, but you can use that headset with the adapter for the Xbox One,
Oh, okay.
and they were giving that away for free um,
Right.
back in like January of this year. So if you purchased the Melee, which I think was only like $140, if you purchased the Melee, you would get the adapter for free. Which I think what do those go for? Like $25, $30?
I think they're about 25 bucks for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
adapter.
yeah. It's the actual Microsoft branded one.
The
So,
I'm just looking there. That Melee headset's like $200.
yep.
So, I mean,
Yeah, they were regularly on sale for around 140.
I use the Turtle Beach Ear Force X07s,
Hmm.
and those I really like a lot. Again, it's wireless, but you just still got the cable from your headset to the you know to the bottom of your controller, so it's not a
Right.
true wireless. But I do like that your controller actually powers the headset. You don't have to have separate batteries. I don't know if the Polks need separate battery or are they feeding
No,
off the controller too.
totally off the controller.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
'Cause, when I was troubleshooting my quality issues with the XP 500s, which I think is their top of the line ones that they had, because I think the other ones were all like XP, some number lower than 500. But there was a lot of talk about people having quality issues, and they tell you, well, move further away from your router, from your wireless router, because the router, I guess, conflicts with it. What are you gonna do? It's like, okay, I can maybe move 2 feet away.
yeah,
I can't put my router on the other side of the house or something.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so much talk about it. Unfortunately, I sit about 5 feet away from my router, and I can definitely confirm that moving further away definitely doesn't make a difference. I think they just suck altogether.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm touching my router right.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So yeah, that's it for me.
How about it, Brun? I know you've been playing something on your PC. I know that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, did you guys, somebody was talking about they're playing Borderlands 2. It's how'd you guys enjoy the humongous 2K games sale this weekend? Like you could have bought like Borderlands Game of the Year edition for like $9 or something like that. Does consoles have that type of? Sam?
Not as good as Steam, no.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when I saw that stuff. I'm like, geez, you could buy all Borderlands for like $13. But all right. I played Battlefield 4, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, and a little game which the one you're talking about is Elite Dangerous. Um, you know, caved in and got it. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I
That's
use
that
like
remake
voice.
of the old Elite game, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I still
So
not I still don't get it. I've watched you play on 2 different days, and I'm just like, well, why
yeah.
would anybody pay for this?
So
Is it still wireframe?
what's that?
Is it still wireframe?
You're gonna have to look at it to see. It's. I mean, you're gonna have to look at it. It looks really nice. So I
Was
mean,
it Elite Dangerous?
yeah. So the thing is it's I heard Ola or Chalk One explain it the best, which was he said that it's Euro Truck Simulator 2 in space. It's basically there's some dog fights, or if you want to say that, but it's a lot of transporting goods from one place to another, hauling cargo, things like that. I mean, it looks. I'm just starting out, so like I finally have my first 20,000 credits. I finally built up to that. But there's some cool websites out there. It says like, here's what port I'm in, here's what ports I can go to, how far I can jump, how much money I have, and it kind of gives you like where you can make your most profit. So then you're jumping from system to system to try to make that profit. But once you move up and everything, then you'll have you can get bigger ships and things like that. I haven't really took part into the flying around and shooting everybody or becoming a pirate or things like that. I haven't got into that because I just have the initial like first spaceship. So, but I use voice attack. I was showing Wing that's like I named mine after my wife, so I'm just like hello Devin, and then the thing responds like hello Captain. So, and I said, hey, what do you think about Wingman? And it said he is the greatest. So
Yeah,
just things like that. You can
that
go in, you
right
can
there is
say
worth
like
the money.
yeah, you can say silent, and they'll be like rigged for silent running. And so you have voice controls using voice attack, and people like build a lot of these things for voice attack. Like I just saw somebody that made a bunch of wave files because you can either have it do text to speech, or you can make it like play wave files and stuff. So somebody went and made a bunch of stuff using the GLaDOS from Portal.
Uh,
So like she'll say a bunch of things like, "What do you think about this pilot? He is a moron," just like in her voice. So it's pretty fun. I played that majority of today. So I jumped in with Nighthawk 70 and we were jumping system to system together. So pretty fun.
cool.
So yep, Mark.
All right, this week I played, tried some Trials Fusion to play the new DLC that came out. And of course, the rest of my time has been sucked into Diablo 3. So, that's it. That's what I've been playing. I think, so Diablo 3, I think I'll take the time to talk about it now. I know someone asked for like a comparison, so, all this stuff. It's been a while since I played the 360 version. I I don't know. I guess that the new version is upgraded visually. I believe it's running at 1080p. Um, but I'm one of these that I was like, I don't know. It looks good, but I thought the 360 version looked good too. So, but the
Yeah.
Xbox One version definitely does look good. There is some new stuff in the game, and I don't know if it's a result of like the original Diablo 3 on the 360, there's things that are in this game that I'm playing that weren't in that game. So I don't know if that's part of the Ultimate Evil Edition or if it was part of a patch that maybe the 360 version got. But like when you're doing certain things, you can this little like after you've slayed so many monsters, this like bottle will pop up and you run over and grab it, and it's like you get double damage and stuff like that, and all these different bonuses. And I'm like, I do not recall that being in the original Diablo 3 on the 360. Um, and there's you played. I started, but I imported my character over, so I got to start the game over. I just started right at Act 1, played the campaign all the way through again, but with my level 60 Demon Hunter, which was pretty cool. So I breezed through it pretty quickly, even though I was playing it on expert. And I went through. You complete Act 4, and then it takes you into Act 5, which is the DLC, which is that was it the Reaper of Souls, I guess. And that's a pretty long act. I think we were playing for several hours, and we were just like only halfway through. And I was like, because I remember that when we got into it that night, I'm like, oh sweet, I'll be able to complete the whole game tonight. Nope, didn't happen. Had to continue the next day. So it was really long act. It was really cool. A lot of neat stuff that they added. Good boss fights. Good. The whole fifth act is just like, man, the monsters they added to the game. That were in that level were just really neat, really cool.
Hmm.
There were some moments that were insane. I mean, I'm playing with other people, and it's like you can't get away. You're just, there's so many enemies on the screen. It's just mass chaos. It is so fun, man. The game is so much fun. So people have asked, is it worth the upgrade? Well, when I played 360 originally, I rented it from GameFly. Played through the game like 4 times. Had pretty much everything I was going to do in the game done achievement wise. Sent it back. Well, then I ended up buying it for like $30 like 2 weeks ago because I found out you can import your character. I'm like, well, that means I need the game, so I bought it and then still paid $60 for the Xbox One version. I think even if you paid $60 for Diablo 3, if you loved that game so much and you haven't played it for a while, I think it's worth the money, especially if you didn't get the DLC, which you didn't.
Yeah.
The DLC wasn't available. Now you can buy the
Yeah.
360 version of this game for $40. Save yourself $20. So you can still get the 360 version. It's cheaper, and it still has all the same stuff, I guess. But I think it's fantastic on the Xbox One. It runs really well. I didn't have a single load time, and that was what I was playing for quite a while, and then I'm like, man, it seems to me every time I would go from like if I'm in town and I would go into like the little bar or or I would go into someone's house or I would go into a cave or a tunnel, I thought that had to load. I'm like almost positive on the 360 you had to load that level or that
Mm.
cave. There's none of that on the Xbox One. You go into it and it pops up. I mean, there's no loading. Once you're in the game, you're in it, no matter what you're doing. The only load things you get are between acts, and then you're getting the story. The visual stuff in between. So there's like no load times whatsoever. It's just the game is always playing. I'm like, this is awesome.
Mm.
So yeah, it's out of 3 hours of playing, you're playing for 2 hours and 55 minutes. I mean, it's you cut out all any kind of loading and stuff, and then the extra time is just selling stuff or equipping your guy, or well, you spend a lot less time playing because you're always looking at your inventory. But I
Yeah.
think you guys get what I mean. Is like you're not sitting around like waiting for levels to load, which was beautiful. I was just like, this is awesome. So
Yeah. Reaper of Souls. I mean, you get that with that Ultimate Edition. That expansion. It's a fifth act, and it's like 3 more hours, three,
it's
four
at
hours.
least 3. I'm almost thinking it was
Yeah.
maybe pushing 4.
Or yeah, 4 more hours of content, and it just does so much to the game, and it's so good. That game is
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, I'm working on my just hit level 60 with my Crusader, so I'm trying to get him to 70, and they'll have 2 characters at 70, and I think my Paragon's like 42 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm playing with somebody who's got a level 70 character of every type, sometimes more than one level 70, and he's Paragon 200. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's got like we did his, and he's got 30 32 days basically of game time into it. So, or was it 3 months? I can't remember. I think it's
it's
32 days worth of game time in it. So that's a lot of time.
Yeah,
So
it's a fantastic game. It's real easy to jump into a friend's game. You can have up to 4 people total in a game, and you're running around just slaying stuff. If you're low level, jump into the higher level guy. You're gonna level up pretty quick.
hmm
You'll die a lot maybe, but you will level up quick. because
Yeah.
you get credit for just being in the game. Like other people doing stuff, you do get XP for that because you're in the group. So you will level up fairly quickly. So don't be hesitant to jump in. Just hop on in there. But and if you see me playing, I'm just I've gone all the way through the game. I started on other thing they've added is there's bounties. So it looks, from what I can understand, a bounty is you're going back. Basically, it looks like playing all the boss fights. I could be wrong. I've only done one so far, and it was like one of the bosses from Act One. So it might be like you're doing the major boss fights from each act, and so there's like I think there's like 5 bounties in each act, and then there's also rifts that you can open up. And a rift is it looks to be it's like I guess that's a randomly generated dungeon or a randomly generated level, and you go in and just tear everything up, and you get rewards for being able to complete it.
Right.
Um, and I think as long you can go back to the store to sell stuff and um, repair your armor and stuff by using the right on the D-pad to go back to the store. But if you can't go back to. I think if you leave the rift through the original opening, or if you go through the exit, it'll end it for everybody. There's something like that.
Yeah,
But
you can go to town freely,
And I've
and
done that because I've had to do that to get completely repaired. But yeah, that's Gunny Chief point. It's called adventure mode. So yeah,
yeah,
you unlock adventure mode after you complete the game. Then adventure mode is unlocks the bounties and the rifts. So you can just and I did with Elite E-Dog 420 and his girlfriend. I got in a game with them, um, and we were I can't remember. It might have been Dizzle was with us. I had several people I played with this week. Might have been in that game with us. But when we got done, I got like 11 million experience. So
yeah.
it was
The
pretty
adventure
crazy.
mode is nice because before that it was, um, you had to just continue. You had to just replay the story over and over and over. And I think before Reaper of Souls came out, I beat Diablo 3 5 times,
Yeah. I,
and then when Reaper of Souls came out, I've beaten it 3 times. All the way through the story with Reaper of Souls twice.
yeah.
And then adventure mode is nice because now you just don't have to do that. It's always new. So we're always doing like rifts and the bounties all the time.
Right.
So yeah, you do get a nice hefty like 1.5 million or 1.2 million or something like that.
We got like 11 million on
Or
one
maybe it's
rift we
12,
did. It
12 and a
was
half
crazy.
million. Yeah. I
So
leveled up like I went from 57 to 60 in like 15 minutes with with the buddies I was playing with. So yeah,
so
such a
but
good game.
it is. It is good.
Yep.
So I think it really nice for if you're grinding stuff out, having the adventure mode. I think makes it a little bit nicer to grind stuff, if you will. So,
Right.
but okay, so that's what I've been playing. That's pretty much it. So I think it's time to head on to.
Beep, 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 beep.
There you go.
Flash. All the ships at sea.
All right, so let me get my stuff ready here. Okay, so here we go. Starting with the news. Reddit comes to Xbox One with its own app called RedX. You can snap the app while gaming or using another app to help monitor and join in threads on the site. Madden NFL 15 demo is available, but only to EA Access members. The demo will be the full game, but we'll have a 6-hour time limit. And yes, it is being reported that you can earn achievements in the demo, as people have been unlocking them. I find that really odd. All right, next, Resident Evil Revelations 2 is on the way. No official information has been leaked. I'm sorry, no official information has been made available, but some leaked box art and a screenshot have been found on the interwebs. All right. Also, racing game developer Codemasters has teased the next release in the popular Dirt series via Twitter. No official information has been provided at this time, and the tweet simply had the number 4. That's all it was. And then a short time later, they said, "Oops, sorry, did something on the keyboard or mistyped on the keyboard. Whatever. It's a tease. So it looks like Dirt 4 will be on the way. Next up, for those of you still on the Xbox 360 and hankering for some more hard drive space, for the low price of $110, you will soon be able to pre-order a 500 gigabyte drive for your Xbox 360. Keep checking the Microsoft Store and your favorite retailers for when that will be available. Rockstar has updated the GTA Online with the introduction of San Andreas Flight School update. The new update introduces planes that gamers can fly in a collection-themed race, capture, parachute jump missions. The update also adds a new aerial competitive mode, including the flag capture, acquiring targets mode, and the Air Force Zero base defense mission. Microsoft has discontinued the free-to-play action RPG Ascend: Hand of Cool on the Xbox 360. This seems to have been sudden without any notice to the developer. The game is in beta form on the PC, and Signal Studios is offering 25,000 in souls, which I guess is the currency of the game, for gamers who move over to the PC version from the 360 version. Trials Fusion has its second DLC pack released this week. It's called Empire of the Sky. The DLC adds 9 tracks to the game. This cost is $4.99 by itself, or it's part of the $20 season pass. The makers of You Don't Know Jack have released Fibbage on the Xbox One. This is a lying, bluffing, lie till you win multiplayer trivia party game. The game is available now for $6.99 US. And last of the news this week, Telltale Games has announced the season finale for The Walking Dead Season 2, titled No Going Back. The DLC will cost $5 and will be available on the Xbox 360 on August 28th. That is this Wednesday, I believe. Or Thursday. I guess that's Thursday. So look for it this week on the 360 to wrap up Season 2 of The Walking Dead. And that there is your news. See,
All right.
Rob, I didn't have to take 8 hours to go through the news, man.
That's right.
It's simple, just like that.
Okay, you
then
handle
we-
the next year's GameCom week.
Yeah, oh, nice, yeah. And then, and then we're on to the roundtable. So, 3 topics this week. It's roundtable. So, anybody in the chat, please feel free to chime in, and we'll try to get your stuff in here too. See what you think. First one here is Xbox One Play Day will be out shortly, which means you can play games for free for 24 hours. Xbox One is introducing new ways for Xbox Live Gold subscribers to get more for their money. If the latest rumblings on Reddit are legit, it seems Microsoft may soon be launching a new program that will allow Gold members to play a wider variety of free titles for a limited amount of time. So basically, what we're saying here is demos, which I mean, start off like, does anybody think this is not a good idea? Because I think this is a fantastic idea.
I don't think it's demos, though,
Well, it's not. It's well, sorry. Let me rephrase that.
because you get it for a whole
It is the
day.
game. You get to play it for a certain period of time, but it allows you to demo the game before you go and blow your money on something. So it lets you spend your money more wisely, in my mind. So, like, this is fantastic. It's great. So I like this idea.
I wonder if they'll do this with like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Then I could just play it, beat the campaign in 5 hours, and I'm done. I don't need
Yeah.
to buy the game.
5 hours.
Well,
Lucky there.
4 to 5. That they've been like,
I know.
usually
I'm just
about-
kidding.
but
I'm
the
just
Call of Duty's between usually 5 and 8. So
Yeah.
I was being mean to him, just saying 5, or say Homefront. That was a 4-hour campaign. So you could beat that in an afternoon before lunch, and then don't have to pay the $60 for the game.
So yeah, I mean, it's just something to me. It's like, we talk about arcade games where you could always download the arcade game and play it for a while, and then you'd get to some things like, hey, you've unlocked an achievement. If you want this achievement, pay for it now, or you kind of get that demo. And EA is really getting into this timed exclusive thing. I like it. Last week I played what was it, Garden Warfare, because I had free 48 hours, and then this weekend was Titanfall, you got a 48-hour pass on it, and they actually tied that in with a sale for Titanfall. Like all the DLC was cheaper, and I think you could get the game for like $20 or something like that on. But yeah, it's like this here it's great because all those games, if we couldn't go spend the $5 to rent them or something like that to see if we like them, you're kind of just crap out of luck, if you want to say it that way. And definitely if you're buying it, the best thing for me is for wanting to be strictly digital. And for you guys that are digital and stuff like that, this gives you a chance to play it, before you purchase it. Because once you do purchase it, that is yours. It's, you can't go trade it in or take it back or anything like that. So.
The only thing with this, from my understanding, is it's going to be something like, well, you can see it on the screen, wherever this screenshot came from. It was Max. So in the story, I believe said it's going to be a game you have not purchased. So this game that you have the free play for the day will be supposedly different for everybody. So, but the thing about it, what I we won't all have the same thing, which is good. I don't even have this on mine yet. I'm not seeing any free to play for the day. I haven't seen it yet. But my understanding is it's going to be something you're going to have to basically go out and look for. You'll just see it appear when you go into the games page or into the games with gold section, because that's where this is at. And so you're going to have to seek it out. You never know if it's going to be there. You never know what it's going to be. We don't know if, once you do it, if a new game will appear after you've gone through that. We don't really know a lot of information about it. It just looks like they're going to start doing something. And, any way to play a game for free, I guess, is never a bad thing. But
Exactly.
I still would like to see, I would still like to see them either do a GameFly app where you can rent digitally, or Microsoft. Why can't they do it? Just say, hey, you pay Xbox Live $60 a year, but if you paid, say, $100 a year or something, then you could rent it, or paid an extra $20 a month or whatever they wanted to do. Paid X amount of dollars a month, and you would be on a rental service, and you could rent stuff, and you wouldn't even, then you could stop buying them, and then do discounts if you wanted to buy it on top of it, like EA's doing with their program, where if you buy it, you get 10% discount. So, but I that's kind of me. I still think, I don't know. I guess it's okay. It just depends, I guess, on what you're going to see and what it is. I
Yeah,
still want
like you
to.
said, like you said, and any game that's free is, I mean, that's a good deal. And especially for the people that have the time to sit there and just play the game, like crazy for that day. I mean, that's a fantastic deal for them. You're like, I mean, Max is a fairly cheap game. I mean, it's only what, $15, but still, it's a $15 game that happens to be a fantastic game at that you can just enjoy for free. And I mean, you could probably finish it in, I don't remember how long the game time on that was, like 5 to 8 hours, something like that, maybe tops.
Yeah,
But
well, it was around 8 hours. It was a
yeah,
fantastic game, though.
oh yeah, you know, if they give you something like that, I mean, it's literally like a demo plus, like an
Right.
enhanced demo, where you can enjoy the whole thing. And if you don't finish it, if you really get into it, for a lot of the games, I'd probably say there's a pretty good chance that you would buy them. So
Yeah.
it's like a win-win for everybody. They'll probably sell more games this way, plus also the people on Xbox Live will get to play more games. I literally think it's very similar to what the cable companies do, and some of the satellite companies do with premium services. Like this weekend, get free Showtime or whatever the promo is.
But why not
Can you
just
hear it?
do it with every game? Why can't you have a
Well,
timed demo with every game?
Yeah, I think it'll eventually be that way. I mean,
Because you got to allow us to tell you. It kills me how when you weren't in a digital world, they required a demo or a trial of every game. Now we're getting into this. They want everybody to go to digital, and they took that away. So I
right.
can't sample anything anymore. And saying, well, watch it on Twitch. No, I've seen stuff on Twitch that looks boring. Like the game, Bron, the game you were playing this weekend. I'm like, dude, I don't get it. That is like the most boring thing I've ever seen. There was nothing about it that it was. And I was like, why are you playing this? And he said today, it's fun. Well, okay. I didn't see it. So nothing. If that's the demo, it would never entice me to plunk my money down on it. And I've seen other
Right.
games the same way on Xbox Ones. I'm like, the Castle Wolfenstein or whatever it is, the new Wolfenstein game. I'm like, this looks boring. Every time I've ever watched a live feed, it looks boring. I've never seen anybody in combat. They're always like looking at a uniform or walking around empty buildings, room to room. Nothing ever comes out. I'm like, you're just walking around. This is boring. So I'm like, you know, I must be hitting the Twitch feeds at the wrong time, but I've never seen anyone in combat on that game. And, so it's like, it just doesn't entice me to get it. But people said it's great. But I'm not going to spend $60 on it to find out, oh, this is great, or man, I was right, this blows. I've been bitten too many times by taking a chance. So it's like, why
Mhm.
can't we do this with every game? Why do I gotta wait and see? Well, this might be fun, but I guess someday I'll wait for it to magically appear for my 1 day trial. That's the thing that I think is kind of frustrating.
Well,
You,
don't forget that back with the original Xbox One, we were supposed to have the game sharing. If you have game sharing, you don't need demos, right? You just play somebody else's game, somebody who's in your circle.
well, if we had that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. I know Rob, you and I could set that up. And I would trust you to do that. There is a way to do game sharing right now with you and one friend, but
Yeah.
if they would have given us the 10 family friends, whatever, that would have been a lot better. You know, so oh, we'll just.
So
That's all my thought is. I'm not saying it's bad. I would just like, why can't I trial everything? That's what we had. It's like the new update on the Xbox One. It's like, ooh, now you can make your party invite only. We've been able to do that for 8 years on the 360. So I'm so glad that next gen was able to finally get caught up to last gen. I can do things on last gen that I can't do on the next gen. It's supposed to be better. Why would you take all these features away,
yeah,
capabilities to do all these things, and make it harder yet want us to go? So that's my only thing. I like the idea, but they need to expand it to more than some random game you haven't bought that will appear one day, maybe or maybe not. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I'm done.
no, yeah, and I just want to say real quick before we move on to the next one is I don't want this thing. It should be every game. Don't get me wrong, but the one thing is I don't want it to turn into hurry up and play a game so you don't have to buy it. Because I think if you try these games and you enjoy them, that you should support the developer and buy
Right.
them.
Oh,
So
absolutely, absolutely. It's like with Rise. I did rent that one. I did have I still had GameFly at the time the Xbox One came out, and I shortly thereafter I'm like, I'm going all digital. I'm just So I played Rise, liked it, but I beat the campaign. I don't see myself going back through. The multiplayer wasn't enough to entice me to buy the game. But it's kind of like I would like to support the developer and buy the digital version, but I don't want to pay $60 for a game I'm not gonna play. When that thing hits $30, I'll give them my $30. You know, then I am like, okay, maybe I'll play through it again, or maybe I can jump into some multiplayer if someone wants to. But when yeah, it does. I think being digital and then you're stuck with it does make a big difference. And I don't care about being stuck with stuff. I finally, I got to the point where I stopped trading in 360 games because I'd find myself maybe a year later, something new DLC came out, or I had the hankering to go back and play it. So I ended up going and finding a used copy and buying it again. So I'm like, let me just stop selling them. It's not worth the 50 cents the GameStop gave you, so I might as well just keep them. But I still liked that I could try stuff out. So many games on 360, I would do the demo and go, this was fun, and I would buy it. Here, there's lots of stuff I have not bought because I can't try it out. So,
right, all right. Rob, anything else?
sorry, I'm
No,
ranting.
sir.
No. Next thing here is Xbox One now supports preloading, starting with the release of Madden 15.
Oh man, have I got something to? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Nah.
So Microsoft announced preloading for select games at select. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Select games at Gamescom's briefing. Phil Spencer promised the functionality for FIFA 15 and Forza's Horizon 2 in September. Spencer had previously promised it was coming during E3. Then in July, Sunset Overdrive developer Insomniac Games said it was coming soon. So I mean, here we are. It's just to me, it's another feature that should be there. It's just taking some time to get there. We're getting it. It says select games now, but I would say, before the end of this, hardware cycle or in the next couple of years, it's going to be every game as it is. Like
Oh, yeah.
definitely the big ones. I mean, nobody's going to want, to purchase Halo 5 and, be like, sorry, that's not a select game. Of course, that's a bad example because, it will be. But I mean, it's just, it's things that should happen on both, on Xbox One and on, the competition. Because I think they allow some preloading on select games as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it happens on PC. This is my thing is it happens on PC. Why can't it happen on console? And I think they're just getting there, and it's a good thing. So,
And this, I mean, they're doing a great job of. I mean, we're getting a new update every month. I've already got the
right,
September update. So soon as everybody gets like the September update, within a week, I've already got the next month. So it's like they're constantly working and kicking out an update every month for the OS, which I think is fantastic.
And
You
there's
know,
some significant features too.
oh
It's not
yeah,
just
right,
just like eye candy or something trivial.
right. And we've got like the media player app now. So I even tried. I took videos and music and put it on a USB, plugged it in there, and was able to play them right off of it. So you can plug an external drive in that's not even formatted for your Xbox One. This didn't have to format my USB like the 360. You had to format it. I took this off my
Yeah.
PC, plugged it in, and it played my media.
nice.
So it recognized it and played it with no problem. So that's I don't know. I think that's still in beta form. I think it was just the preview people that got that media app.
Yes.
But because I got a message from Xbox Live about it. But um,
Yeah, that's basically an early release. And then later on, they're going to be adding network support for the LNA servers, which is huge. That's awesome.
yeah, and like I know someone was asking. I think just like a week or two was asking us about they'd like to boot their TV or their Xbox up to the TV. Well, guess what? You're going to be able to do that in September because I can do it right now. You flip it
Yep.
on, and when I walk in and say, I tell it to turn on, it boots up and my TV's running. So I'm not looking at the home screen,
Hmm.
and then I don't have to tell it go to TV. Because like when I come into my office every day, I always turn it on, and I always go to the TV to turn the news on while I work. So it's nice now that I don't have to. I can just say turn on, and it's already there. I don't have to grab the controller and power it up as well, and or sit here and give it a bunch of
It-
commands to get, go to TV, do this, go, it just boots right to it.
Dude, is it like in the sci-fi movies where the people walk into the room and they give all the commands like lights on, this and that. Does it have that kind of feel where you just walk in, you're not even looking at the TV, you just say it as you're, getting over to your desk or something. Is it like that?
It's nice when it works. Sometimes I got to say it twice, but
Yeah, don't
for,
do any mush mouth.
yeah. So for the most part, it works really well. So, but yeah, I think it's great.
Yep.
It makes me want other things to be, working by voice command. But
Yeah.
Soon.
so, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get. I'll be definitely doing the pre-order in the pre-download for the Forza Horizon 2 without a doubt. So
Yeah, being that Brun is our resident sports guy, unfortunately, he can't test this Madden thing for us.
Wouldn't test Madden anyways.
Okay.
I'm not a huge football person, but I'm college, and they don't have a college football game anymore. So,
so
uh, all right. So, for our last round topic, uh, we'll see if we all agree on this one as well. But so Ubisoft has come out and says it's hard to justify creating new Xbox 360 games after 2015. So, um, Run is in the shadow. Or oh,
Braun is
sorry, I'm
lit
all
up.
lit up. Yeah, that's because I have both my screens have white backgrounds. I make sure I have like Google on both screens so it lights me up, or else, it looks like
My
it
lighting's the
looks
same
like
as
this.
my lighting's always exactly the same.
Yeah, yours
I
is the same.
yeah. So
Mine can be dark like this, but
so
I run both sides, so like that. All right. So Ubisoft, like I said it's hard to justify creating new Xbox 360 games after 2015. Uh, Ubisoft intends to wind down support for the 360 and PS3 from 2015, according to their CEO, as new consoles are now selling in sufficient quantities to justify Xbox One and PS4 only games. So yeah, it's both consoles are still like in the 80 percentile of outselling like their predecessors. So at this point in time for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, the PS4 and the Xbox One are outselling that at the same time by 80%. So it's like both consoles are killing it.
Yeah.
But my one thing is like I think we talked about this like shows ago. Like how long do we think they should support the 360? With with new games and stuff, because they're doing some cross-platform, and I know like I've kind of always said, well, once they're done making the current 360 game that they're making, because some people were in development for making that game, I was like, they should be done. Don't start any new projects. Everybody wants to play the latest. They don't want to go
Right.
back. And I still stick by that, even though like I don't have an Xbox One. I only have a 360 at this point in time. I'm still not like, oh no, I want more 360. I'm not like that. It's like if I really wanted to play Forza Horizon 2, because I think it's Xbox One only, right?
Correct.
I'd go buy an Xbox One. You know what I mean? It's like
And you
I'm
should.
not. I know, and as everybody says every week, but the thing is like I'm not mad that Turn 10 is not making, or whoever's making Forza Horizon is not making one 360. So I completely understand. I'm actually very surprised they said after 2015. So they're going to support it through this year and through next year, and then stop. So I thought they'd be done like after this, this winter,
I
this
think
holiday season.
2015 is good. I mean, they just came out. What they came out in 2013, right? The very end of the year. So
Yeah.
if they go 2 years to support, I mean, you think about the games typically have a 2-year development cycle. On average, maybe a little longer. So I mean, they still probably got a lot of stuff lined up to come out. So for the next 2 years, but by the 2015, yeah, I wouldn't start anything, and even in 2014, I wouldn't start making any games in 2014 for the 360 because by the time it comes out, it's going to be 2016 or later, and you want to start taking advantage and making your stuff, the developers and stuff, they want to make them look as good as they can. And now it's like, okay, do we want to develop on a box that has 512 meg of RAM or 8 gig of RAM? Do we want to, you know what I mean? There's all those other limitations. I mean, that hardware is darn near 10 years old. I mean, it's time to move on, people. With my work and what I do, I still have customers that have Windows 2000 in their environment. I'm just like, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, it's 2014, right? I'm like, that OS is 14 years old. It's time to move on.
It's probably been end of support for some
It
years.
has
No, it's
Well,
XP.
No,
You
2000.
said X.
no,
Oh,
2000. I got
oh,
customers still with
2007.
2000. But it's
XP is at end of life this spring, or it's like in the past. It's end of life now.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yep.
way past support. Nobody provides support. We don't even provide support for our products on it anymore.
Yep.
And I keep telling them, you guys need to, so I'm trying to help them manage those and find other means. And we got other means that they can kind of secure them down. But it's it's just like it boggles my mind. It's like, and I get why they've got it. It's the environment that they're in and what the job that they're doing, but still, you gotta move on. You gotta figure out a way to upgrade some of that stuff. But same with the 360. I got my game, and it's like I wish I don't go back and play it. Everything I buy, I buy on Xbox One. The only thing I'm gonna buy on 360 is Borderlands 2, or Borderlands the pre-sequel, and that's only because it's not coming on the One. So I wish it was. I'd rather play it on the Xbox One. I will buy it and play it on the 360, I won't have any problem with doing it, but it's probably going to be the last one I do buy on that platform. I don't know of anything that's not, that's coming out in the future that only on that platform that I want, other than Borderlands. So, you gotta work it over. I think if they do 2 years after, I think that's good. I don't think anybody should expect them to do more. I'm sure people will. I want it for 40 years support, whatever.
Yeah.
There's whiny babies out there everywhere. So, but too bad. So,
Yeah.
go boot up your Atari 2600 and play that if you you want some old school gaming. Um, and I think 2 year. I don't. I. It seems to me. It seems to make sense. I can see him getting flack over it just because they're the first one to say it, but we know it's coming. It
Yeah.
happens with every other console generation. So
Yeah. Well, look at Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox when 360 came out, they were just like, "We're done."
yeah, it was only like what 6 months
Yeah.
later, and they
Yeah.
they cut
real
support.
short.
So
Yeah, and people were complaining about it, and it was just like, "Go get a 360." I
or
mean,
or yeah, or in they also had but the thing there is what I thought was neat was they did have the backward compatibility
for certain games, yeah.
for a majority of them.
Hmm.
So you can still play them on a 360.
Yeah.
So, but now that you don't, them having longer support, I think makes sense. But we all want the new stuff. So, I
Yep.
mean, we can't. If you want the 10 million characters, enemies on the screen, and all these smooth, nice frame rates and 1080p with you want all the P's and all the FPSs, you gotta upgrade your hardware, man. So.
Yep.
But I don't know.
That's it.
What about it,
That was it.
Rob? We done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you guys covered everything to be said about that. It just there's a point where these companies have to move on. They have to, with the amount of money that they're spending on these games, I could really see, like if some of these games are what, a couple 100 million to produce, right? Yes.
It,
Or is that a little too
They're
high?
in the millions.
they're in
Yeah.
They're
millions,
in the
yeah.
millions.
Yeah. So you figure, like, even in the 2 years ago, when a company, let's say the new Modern Warfare or whatever would come out, if it cost them X amount of money, to produce it, you figured they would have to split that money across all the different platforms. You had your PlayStation, you had your Xbox, and then uh, I imagine the mobile platforms. Those are probably fairly inexpensive, but the major consoles and PC. So let's call those the three main ones. I won't even consider Nintendo. But so that's three main consoles. So if a game costs 50, let's say 50 million to produce, you're looking at what, about 16, 17 million per console to produce, roughly. And if there's going to be a diminishing sales, there's going to be a decline in sales on a particular console, let's say like the 360, because I imagine it's just going to start dwindling. Those numbers are not going to go up by any means in terms of the amount of people purchasing the systems and purchasing the games. Firmly believe that right now it's got to have plateaued. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because all the people are starting to move towards next generation, and those of us that have two consoles, it's very unlikely we're going to buy a 360 version. We're going to buy the Xbox One version. And unfortunately for the people that don't have an Xbox One, maybe that's an incentive. Like something like Unity, the new Assassin's Creed. It is called Unity, right? Or is it
Yes.
something
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Well,
that's the one.
one of
For the
them.
Xbox One, yeah.
Yeah,
other one
that's the
named
new
different.
one, and then there that other one for the old consoles.
It's called
Had a
Rogue,
different
isn't
name.
it? I think it's called Rogue.
Yes, absolutely correct. So you got something like Unity, and the thing looks amazing, and the capabilities of it. Just having up to what, 4 people playing this thing, and having a coordinated effort. I mean, that's pretty sweet. And you know what? That's a selling point for the next generation systems. Because to be honest, for a lot of people, if they keep making all these big titles for both systems, there is no incentive for people to buy. Microsoft does not want, you know, the huge titles to be out for both systems, I wouldn't think, consistently, because other than graphics, what's to be gained by having the Xbox One version. There's got to be some kind of draw.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
the
killed it.
fact,
They killed the TV stuff. So
yeah, I mean, so I think the fact that they're still going another year because the Xbox One came out in 2013, so they're developing for another 2 years beyond that, and I think that's kind of what they said, wasn't it? That sounds vaguely familiar to me now. That companies would push it for another 2 years, or there was something about. We reported on something months ago about this. I vaguely remember,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, we got 2 years, and hopefully by that point, people that haven't gone over to the Xbox One, will have enough incentive to bring over or to go over because life is nice in the current generation.
yep.
Fantastic graphics, fantastic system, and you know what? Even those people that are holding off, like Brun, until later to get it. I mean, by the time they go in there, it's going to be fairly mature. It's going to be tested. There's going to be a lot of titles, a lot of cool features. They're going to be going into it like feet first, whereas we're kind of like easing our way into it right now by being day one purchasers. But yeah, so 2015, got about another year and a half.
Cool. I think what we got community.
Yep.
Community topics. So Facebook. Everybody loves our Facebook group. We have hundreds of people there, so make sure you check out Facebook on. Go to Facebook and search for This Xbox Life. Email us at contact@thisxboxlife.com. And don't forget we have a Twitter as well, and that is twitter.com/thisxboxlife. And voicemails. So go to the site, thisxboxlife.com. Click on leave us a message, I believe is what it says. And, leave us a voicemail. And obviously that's, you want to get in on the contest, that is the way to go. So everybody get out there and leave us one. So, and if anybody has any question on what a voicemail is, we got one this week. So, Wing, do you want to run that?
Thanks. See you later. Hey guys, Griffin95 here. You may know me from the Cheap and Hounds podcast. Anyway, just wanted to, been a while, since I've left any messages. I don't think ever actually. Anyway, so just wanted to see if there were any games that you guys have played that you played and completely lost track of time. It's going. I think it's 2 hours in, and next thing you know, it's 8 hours. Like holy crap! I got to get up for work in the morning. So there's that, and one more thing. What do you guys think of the True Achievement app? That I don't know if you guys have heard anything, but apparently there's a TA app coming to Xbox One. So just want to hear your opinions on it. Thanks. See you later.
Alrighty. Hopefully you guys heard that. He was real quiet, and it was quiet on my end,
Yeah.
so it was nothing that I could control. It was just he had a real quiet recording. So, but looks like nobody could hear him.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
was really quiet. I mean, I remember listening to the voicemail itself when we got it.
yeah. Everything's maxed. It's just it's not our normal issue. It's his is real quiet. But essentially, he came up. It was from Griffey95, and he stated he had asked, "Was there ever a game that we played and just completely lost track of time?" I'm sure we all have a game that we can think of where we lost track of time. How about it, Rob?
Oh yeah, you bet. I mean, there's been tons of games that fall into this category. Although I find myself, um, I find the amount of time that I get sucked into games a lot shorter. I don't know if it's like late onset gaming ADD or something, but there reaches a point where I'm like, I got to put this game down. I got to go do something else. I don't know if it's like guilt of not doing stuff with my family or whatnot, but it was something that was a common occurrence for me years ago. where you're literally just sitting there and then you realize you're like, holy cow, it's, 5 hours later. I haven't moved up. I'm hungry. I'm cold. All your joints are stiff because you haven't moved. And it's like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm thirsty. I'm dehydrated, all this stuff. And, uh, there's a ton of games. A lot of real time strategy games have sucked me into that. I'd probably have to say it's probably games that have, let's say, like longer missions or that don't have like frequent quests or races like in the racing games. If it's something that keeps you involved for a very long time, like I remember back in the day when like Wing and I used to play Total Annihilation, Command and Conquer, and all those games. Some of those missions would literally take you like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in order to complete. Those are the ones that would just keep me glued to my chair. But if like Forza Horizon, I tend to play that in short stints just because it's like, hey, I knock out a race in 10 minutes, then there's that pause where I have that ability to like get up and go do something else. Those are the games that don't keep me as long. How about you guys?
Yeah, I can think of a few. Games like Shadow Complex, Portal. Um, I would also say Mass Effect 2. 2 for sure. 1, was kind of one of those rough ones. Um, the couple most recent Halo games, Halo 3, Halo 4. Trying to think of anything else. It's just there's a lot. There's a lot of games out there that do that. Most recently the Elite Dangerous, even though Wing thinks it's boring, it is fun. It's fun to me. You have to play it, I guess. It's fun to play. It's fun to play.
I'm waiting to hear the trucker horn. Wah, wah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've lost track playing that. Diablo 3, lost track playing that. It's crazy. It's happened to me so many times because it's just when you find those, and really it just comes out to be, it's like any game that I've really enjoyed playing turns out to be that way because you're so into it. Walking Dead season 1, that's one. It's just like I wanted to play and was playing, and just all of a sudden, oh, I'm at the end of episode 1, and I'm like holding the controller, going, but I'm not finished, but I was, so, but. Yeah, things like that. Wing, you got a couple?
Specific games. Diablo 3 is doing it to me now. It did it to me when on the 360. Also, I remember Guitar Hero 2 is my first rhythm game. I bought that game in the morning, and the next thing I know, it was 10 o'clock at night. I had no clue, and my hand was like formed in this claw, But I was just like, I was I even in pain. That was like the first game that caused me pain, but I was still playing through it, and I was like, "What? I've been playing for like 12 hours." It was just
Your
like,
hands are like this.
yeah, you go to sleep, you're just like, "Oh, I can't move." So that one time really went away really quick. Also, Rob, the first time I ever went to a LAN party with you up in Crystal
Yeah.
Lake at Primus's house. I remember I remember like checking in with the wife or not looking up from our first game, and it's like, hey, are we gonna eat lunch? And it was like 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
I was like, what happened? We got here in the morning. We didn't eat lunch, and all of a sudden it was like 8 o'clock at night, and people are
Yeah.
like, hey, we should probably order some food, and I thought it was lunchtime.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm like, man, we missed lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
So yes, but you know what? It just means you're having a lot of fun. So
Exactly.
it happens all the time. So
Yeah. The games are doing exactly what I think the developers and creators are, want them to do. That's why I think they make those games. So I mean, some people make them for money. They want to be rich and they want to make money. But I think for the creators and people who write the stories and stuff, they want you to do that. That's what they like to hear. And I just say that because I like that when I write applications and things like that, when people use it, they're just like, oh, I didn't even realize I was spending that. It just flowed so nice. I got so much done.
Eh,
It's you know
yeah.
yeah, and it happens when I program and things like that. If it's an application I like writing, and just happened this Saturday with writing a mobile app. Um, I went to my buddies and we're trying to finish it up, and I got there at 10 a.m. and all of a sudden I look down, I'm like, oh, do you want to grab lunch? And it's like one, just happens on a lot of things. So
Well, the second part of his question was, what do we think of the True Achievement app coming to Xbox One? Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with TrueAchievement.com, but it's a website out there that you can. It's got a very large community, but essentially they track all your achievement progress, but they
hmm.
assign what they consider a real achievement number instead of just kind of like a canned achievement. They feel like, and they base it off of like the hardness to get it. So the harder ones, the ones that are really hard to get, have a much higher achievement point value than what you get on the Xbox itself. Um, I never understood that. I don't really care about a TA number. To me, it's not relevant. To me, the one that's relevant is the one on the Xbox itself. But what I really do like about True Achievements website is you can look up a game and you can. It's very easy to see if you want to look at stuff that you need to accomplish, or if you're looking to knock achievements out, it's probably the best place to go. Plus, guides are written by all their community members, and you can find out if you're stuck somewhere. It's a great way to go to help get through a section. So that's the piece that I'm looking forward to. The I know we saw that. I think it was at E3, the Machinima Wingman app. Even though it has an awesome
Hmm.
name, I've not found it to be very useful. Um,
Ah, it's a bummer.
so I'm finding I think that the True Achievement app might be a little better as long. It depends on how the app is done. If you can snap in the guides and read through, because I like the ones that video guides are nice, but also having there's a lot that are written out. So if they have that in there, then I think it could be a really nice um, thing to have. I don't necessarily know if it's needed though, because you can snap in guides and stuff just with the IE browser. So I don't know. Apps are always better than Internet Explorer browser. So we'll have to see what they do with it.
The, the, the only thing I'd have to say about that is, besides the guides and stuff, as far as the achievements part of it, I'm surprised that they're going to put that on Xbox One, because an achievement is an Xbox thing. They have a thing that tracks your achievements by themselves. Why they would have another app come in and say, hey, you take achievements, and they put their own calculations on it and kind of rework the achievements is kind of surprising. But, you know, they are a very popular site, and we've,
Right.
been on there forever. So,
Yeah.
but, you know what I mean? It just seems kind of weird. It's just like, hey, Xbox, Xbox achievements. And then
True achievements.
true achievements, you piggybacks off Xbox achievements. But,
Right.
you know,
So,
but, all
but
right.
like, yeah, they got a very large active community.
Yes, yeah. Yes, they do.
So I think it's cool in a way that Microsoft is doing that. Allowing something like that to come in and be a
Mhm.
part of the landscape.
Oh yeah.
So Braun, when are you going to code this Xbox Life app so people can do what they already do? Instead of snapping Twitch, they just snap the TXL app, and then they can watch us. Why aren't you
Well, I
working
was
on
thinking
that?
about, based on what I learned building this mobile app, about building, something that they could listen to all our shows and stuff on it. But
There you go. There you
we'll
go.
see.
All right. Well, thanks, Griffey, for the thing.
Yep.
Maybe I need to. I just didn't have time. Sorry. I guess I did today. I was not feeling well, but I need to. If the volume is quiet, I'll have to boost it somehow in another application prior to putting it in. So that's my bad. I should have done that. I apologize. So didn't realize it was so quiet until I just played it. Now it's like, wow, why is this so quiet?
Yeah.
So all right.
All right.
Okay.
Rob,
So
Do your job.
Earn your pay.
Tell people people
Nice.
what they can buy this week. Tell 'em.
All right. So for the 360 this week, we have Dark Souls 2, Crown of the Old Iron King, and also Madden NFL 15 for your gaming pleasure. Xbox One this week, we have once again Madden NFL 15, which I guess now you can preload. And also, we're going to have Metro. Now, how do you say that? Redux or is that Redo?
I say redo.
Redo? Okay, Metro Redo. That's Redux for the Xbox One. And wasn't there something else? Oh, yeah. The Walking Dead. Walking Dead episode, or season 2, episode 5 is coming out this week.
As stated in the news.
Yes.
But that's right. Didn't make it in here. So where might one purchase said games and stuff?
That's a very good question. So if you want to buy some deodorant, some Xbox One games, Xbox 360 games, heck, even if you have a Nintendo, you can buy your games on Amazon and also support your favorite podcast at the same time. Make sure to go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon or go to our homepage at thisxboxlife.com and then click one of our 2 Amazon links. That'll take you to Amazon, and then you can search and purchase to your heart's content.
Yay.
There you go.
Yay.
All right. So as a reminder, be sure to get your voicemails into us this week. We will randomly pick one of those voicemails that we get this week. We'll play them all in next week's show, and we will randomly pick one to win a $60 gift card. So we're giving away a game this week, people. All you got to do is just send us a quick voicemail with your gamer tag and a question, and we'll play it and answer it in the show. So don't forget. It's real
Exactly. And
easy to do.
I'd also like to mention that, a lot of people enter into contests all the time on Facebook, manufacturer sites and all that stuff. If you enter in a contest, let's say for Ubisoft, there's probably millions of people in that contest. Well, here your odds are
Even smaller because there's
billion times
billions.
better.
No, they're smaller because there's so many people that are going to be. No, I'm just. Dude, if we get one voicemail next week, I'm going to be really upset.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be the
there,
luckiest
right
voicemail.
now there's 16 people watching, and I know we've been up closer to 20 just watching just the live feed. So there's no
Yeah.
reason we couldn't get at least 16 voicemails next week, this coming week. Not to mention all those that are going to listen. I mean, we got thousands that listen. We know that. We got thousands that listen to the audio show. So, and if you're late, you're always a week or two behind. Oh well, this might teach you to stay caught up with us.
Yeah. And if you're late, still leave us a voicemail. We'll just use it on another show, and it won't be in the contest, but we'll still use your
Yeah,
comments.
we'd like to hear you. And I
questions.
promise I'll make sure they're all boosted next week. I promise. So,
Did we give out a deadline? Sorry.
Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next Saturday night.
sure.
So you got to have them in by Saturday the 30th of August because I need the next day to make sure all the audio is good and boosted. So
Vengeful Loki is not available, not allowed to enter the contest.
I don't know why he wouldn't be. He's
Yeah,
not an
why would
official
you?
staff member. He fills in from time to time, but
Yeah.
he's
I don't see why not
community.
Vengeful. Yeah.
Robin Brunner and myself are not allowed to win. So that's it.
More
Everybody
on my
else.
kids.
So
How about my son's goldfish? Can they win?
no,
Nope.
not unless not unless they got a gamer tag,
They
and it's
can.
not Presar. All right, I think that's it for us this week. We hope you guys had a good time, and be sure to send us a voicemail for next week. And good luck in the contest. With that, I am Mark AK Wingman 709. I'm taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good luck to everybody entering the contest, and we'll catch you all next week.
And I am Brun, BJ's Vic 33. Have a good night.